Howdy, gamers. Lord Arcane here. Today we get to talk about Star Wars. Now, of course, we got the movies and the books and blah 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 blah. But yeah, those are all fun. Don't get me wrong. I've been a fan for decades. But today we're talking specifically about games. We actually have a ton to talk about. So this might be a little longer than my short little bite-sized segment. So you might need a dinner knife with this one. First of all, let's talk RPGs. The Star Wars RPG, the most recent incarnation from Fantasy Flight Games, has been doing really, really well. A lot of people really enjoy it. Fantasy Flight was bought out by the Asmodee Group, and people were wondering what would happen with the license. Well, we've got some news for you. Edge Studios, which is also part of the Asmodee Group, it will be running the new Star Wars RPG. It sounds like it's going to have a lot similar with the Fantasy Flight ones, based upon the developers involved and things like that. But naturally, it's going to evolve a little bit. I don't have any kind of time frames on it yet. Very few details, just one little missions, one little post about it is all I've ever seen. So we've got that to look forward to. Moving away from the tabletop onto other toys. Okay, there are a ton of things happening there. Old Republic, which is the Electronic Arts run MMO, is just had a recent update where they evolved the plot line further with Darth Malgus. It's called Jedi Under Siege. And the other thing that they usually do with the Old Republic is their May events, to celebrate Star Wars, May the 4th, etc. So those will be coming up, and we have not yet seen anything on them. I have every reason to believe they'll be up here. We're going to touch back on that later, but I'll tell you when we're going to talk back on that later. But it's always been a hit. It's always been fun. So it might be worth looking into if you're into either MMOs or specifically the Old Republic. Whichever works, whatever floats your Star Destroyer. All right, next up is Star Wars Eclipse. I've seen a trailer for Eclipse, but it wasn't a gameplay trailer, so I'm not sure the gameplay on it. It is described as a role-playing game, kind of an action-adventure. So I'm getting the impression it's going to be a lot like the old KOTOR series. It's based in the High Republic era. The graphics you've got right above my head here is actually from Eclipse. It's a screenshot, is what they're saying about it. So it's got a lot to look forward to. As I said, it's been in the. We've got a trailer on it. I'll give you a link in the description that you're going to want for that. Next one on my to-do list is Hunters. And the reason why these are kind of organized this way, the first three, Old Republic, Eclipse, and Hunters, are already existing. They're already existing properties. They're already in development. They already have names, etc. Hunters is a team-based game after the fall of the Empire. It's for the Switch, iOS, and Android, from what we're seeing on it. So that's in development, coming out fairly soon. Again, I don't have specific dates on these, unfortunately, but that'll be worth looking for if that's your thing. I've got a lot of Android games I play. Not quite as many as I have time for. Unfortunately, I don't have time for all of them anyway. My Android's a little old, so I don't play all of them. Next on the list, 3 games have been mentioned from Respawn under the Star Wars license. Now, the Star Wars license is not a specifically EA thing like it used to be back in the day. So you've got a lot of people with approaching Star Wars from different angles now. You can call that a Disney success if you want. I'm not sure. But it looks like we're getting a lot of support. The first one from Respawn is a follow-up to Fallen Order, which was the massively popular kind of open world exploration game. The second one that they've mentioned is a first-person shooter. Strikes me very similar to Battlefront, but again, we don't have any screenshots. We don't know anything about gameplay. These are really, really early announcements. And then the last one is some kind of a strategy game. We don't even have titles for those 3. So there you go. It is what it is. Now, last but definitely not least, today is the day. Star Wars, the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Let me drop that one again. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga is released today. I've seen it on Steam. I've seen it on Humble. Seems to have it as well. So it's out there. Find it, play it, enjoy it. I've got it on my computer, or at least I will have it on a computer as soon as it lets me download it. I'm actually recording this one a little early so I can get some sleep. But I'm planning to run a live stream of that tomorrow, if at all possible. We're hoping for about 5 o'clock Eastern. So keep your eyes open. At the very least, I'll at least do some gameplay videos for you and put it up on YouTube as well. That's out and about. Now, last thing on that, we talked about following up on Star Wars later. I'm hoping to have more details in early May about some of these products, with Star Wars being such a May dedicated, or rather May being such a Star Wars dedicated month. May the 4th, Revenge of the 5th. They do a lot of announcements in May. So I'm going to swing back early May and get some more details on these, hopefully, and fill in some blanks that we don't happen to have. Maybe some titles, maybe some gameplay footage, maybe things like that. What I'm going to put in the description is a link to a page that has both Eclipse and Hunter, so you can look at both of those, whichever fits your personal gaming style, so you can take a peek. And last, moving on to looking ahead, on Friday I will be talking Pathfinder. We're getting into convention season, and that's the time we talk Pathfinder. We've got a new book coming out in April that actually looks like a lot of fun as well. So if you'll see me Friday, I would be happy to share everything Pathfinder with you. Otherwise, talk to you then. May the Force be with you. All right, bye.